a thog video.
Hi, and welcome to Man-Eating. Now today on Man-Eating we're making a little bit of an Easter special because as I'm recording this it is Easter Sunday. Try to hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a little bit outrageous. Everyone complains about this combination that I'm going to talk about. But I'm going to talk about tea cakes, or with Easter, hot cross buns, with bacon. Whoa, yeah, I know. Bacon and a tea cake doesn't go together, does it? But then if you have a think about some of the other ways that you might consume pork, if you think about sweet and sour pork, that's obviously got fruit in it, and it's quite sweet. If you think about in Western Europe, the combination of pork and apple is very popular. Apple sauce with your roast pork dinner as an example of that. We've got it, and these are slightly overdone, are the tea cakes and the hot cross buns. This morning in my house, the smoke alarm has gone on 6-7 times. I do apologise very sincerely to my other half. We've got a set of tea cakes. These are Warburton's tea cakes. Absolutely fine, good staple tea cake, very nice. And we've got Co-op low-fat hot cross buns. As for the bacon, that is Dane Pack thick cut rasher bacon, and it's had most of the fat taken off it. I only really like the fat on bacon if it's really crispy, so you can actually crunch it. If it's not crunchy and you have to chew it, I can't say I'm a big fan. You just can end up chewing it for ages and ages and ages. So I prefer just to cut it off. Plus, obviously, there's the calories within the bacon. Despite what I look like, I do actually vaguely care about calories. Try not to make it worse than it already is. I'll go for the basic tea cake first, with the bacon. Yeah, I love the combination because you have the sense of the sweetness and the raisins and all that at the front of your mouth, and then you get this sort of bacon kick right at the back of your throat. It's like, oh, that's really quite special. It's very, very tasty. I'm thinking about sweet and pork combinations. If you think about maple syrup, for example, towers of bacon and pancake with maple syrup poured on. It just goes to show there's plenty of opportunity to have sweetness with bacon. But yes, I love it. I prefer it to a standard bacon sandwich, although I love a bacon sandwich, but it's just a little bit more special with the tea cake. The bacon sandwich, traditional bacon sandwich, in a plain bread cake, the bread's basically there as a medium to hold the bacon. Doesn't really do much more than that. You have to coat it in butter and tomato ketchup to basically give you any kind of contrast to the bacon. Whilst with the tea cake does that for you. I mean, yeah, I have put a little bit of margarine on here, but you don't need to. It does slightly enhance the flavour, but it's not essential. I don't have any tomato ketchup on here, which I could. You can have it on here, and it's very nice, but it's not essential. And now we'll look for the Easter special, obviously, with a hot cross bun. That I have to say, wow. That is even nicer. The increased amount of the spices in the hot cross bun really give you even more of a contrast between the bacon and the hot cross bun. It's really, really tasty. I'm quite interested that this was the low fat, sort of the healthy version of the hot cross bun. I don't know if you had a full fat hot cross bun, if it might be too much. I kind of get the impression that you could go too far. You could have a hot cross bun which is really, really spicy and full of flavour, and you would actually throw off the bacon and make it not quite so nice. But that is a brilliant combination. How did we cook that? Well, we basically slapped the bacon in the pan. I said on a low heat. Usually I just stick it in on a high heat until it's all cooked, get it out again. because of the various arrangements making the tea cakes and all that kind of thing, I actually did it on a low heat and then finished it off on a high heat. And that's actually worked really well. It's made the bacon a little bit crispier than it normally would do. So I'm going to think about doing that again in the future. And with the hot cross bun and the tea cake, that was just done in a standard toaster. Now the one thing I do have to say, particularly if you don't want to upset people by having the smoke alarm go off again and again and again and again, what you do have to do is keep a close eye on it. And bear in mind that as you use the toaster multiple times, it will heat up, and the setting you had on for the first tea cake might be too high for the next one. I did my very first one on a number 5, worked out perfectly well. On ours, 1 is the lightest and 9 is sort of the most cooked toast or tea cake or whatever. So number 5 is kind of halfway. Everything after that I did on a number 3, and even that was probably a little bit too much for sometimes. So it could even have gone even lighter than that. So do keep a close eye on it. Ideally, I would have grilled it, I would say. Ideally, I prefer grilled tea cakes. That's the best. But our grill's playing up, so you work with what you've got. Anyway, so I'm going to enjoy these with a bit of Lemsip and try and chill out a bit today. I hope you're having a good Easter, and I hope you do get the opportunity to try a baking tea cake, or even baking in a hot cross bun. Thanks for watching. Bye! Oh, and as a final point, what you could always have, instead of your Lemsip, is you could have a virgin creamy kraut. Now, if you want to see how to make a proper creamy kraut, check out my previous video, which is going to be, a link will be somewhere around, it'll be over here, there'll be a link over here, probably. But just as a sort of side tip, a virgin creamy kraut is basically cream soda with some vanilla ice cream in it, all whizzed up. It's very tasty. Bye!